actually do for them. And it's an important part of the dashboard, which essentially is the heart of the solution, enabling us through here, and this is actually my own personal plan here, to be able to see their development goals and the activities that they've managed to conduct to be able to reach those goals. So, through settings, it's very important for people to be able to change their settings to be able to customise the system for their own purposes. And we do use Sophia Plus skills within the work that we're recording on here. They're not mandatory. Not everybody fully is on board with Sophia Plus, and we want to get people more used to using it. We want it to become more commonplace. So we do ask for people to identify what their primary Sophia Plus skill is. Now, whilst we're not able to use that information in terms of the software itself right now, our plan is to be able to use that to push people messages in upcoming releases, events that are coming up will be of interest to them. Blogs, articles, videos, all of the different content. We've got over 20,000 hours of recorded content at BCS alone that we can push towards these people. Activities for them to be able to discover. They can set their attributes, they can set up their own defined fields, they can use the resources. And this again calls upon some of these RSS feeds that you can subscribe to as part of the CPD portal. So identify what are the upcoming events, what are the latest blogs and articles that we're collating and curating. What can I watch and listen? And all of this information is available to us here, as well, of course, as visiting the portal itself. Recording information, really easy. We can just go to our development goals, we can easily create them, we can click in and we can amend the information and maintain it that's there. You can link any number of activities to development goals. You can just have activities that aren't really to reach your goals at all, but things that you came across that have enriched your professional life in some way. And under activities, again a similar element of recording here, the ability to be able to go in and identify, well, what type of activity might this have been? In this case, it's private study. Could have been reading a book, could have been reading an article such as this. And the ability to be able to choose what's most relevant to me on my daily usage of the solution, what's useful to me in terms of advanced fields from time to time. So again, it's enabling me to be able to customise this to best meet my needs. We can put links in, such as you can see here, and additional fields such as this. Perhaps I spent 2 hours reading that article, long article that one, slow reader. So it gives me the ability to be able to record that. That's a customised field for my own purposes. When I have updated something, I can create new elements and so on. What I can also do is share information. This is very important. We all know how important it is to share our successes. Very few fields on the system are mandatory. This one's just come up to bite me. If I've completed a task, I do need to tell it when I completed it. And when I have completed it, I can share this information with others. Sharing across social networks, of course, is important. So, I may want to be able to share my successes across LinkedIn, Google+, across Facebook, Twitter, and so on. All of these messages that go out will be driving people back to the BCS. So, people will understand where they got a lot of this information from, and other people, their peers, can learn from their experiences too. And we're also offering people the ability to be able to share with the member community from day one. So if this was a good article, I could show that it enabled me to get further towards my cloud security, better understanding of challenges and good practice, and I can share that with the member community. And in upcoming releases, we want people to be able to say, well, I want to know more about cloud security. What did people do? Well, X% of people read a book. X% of people went to an exhibition. What exhibition? You go in and you'd be able to see that, but all based on what people choose to share with others. So, it's about recording, it's about sharing, it's about learning and helping other people learn too. And we need your help, and the first element of your help that we need is not to be too vocal about this just yet. It's in a controlled beta test until the 24th of April, when we'll be launching it at the MRG Conference and Exhibition held by the CIPD. We've got all sorts of PR activities planned to raise awareness of BCS professionalism and the tool. And this is going to help drive new members to us and drive up professionalism too. So, we'd like to keep it under your hat just for a little while longer, but very soon we'll give you the ability to very much shout about it. And this is where we really will need your help. We have a series of postcards that we're having produced, which are just basic calls to action to say, we have a tool here, you can all use it. As a member, you can use it, you can carry out your searches, you can produce your exports, you can produce brilliant reports that will show you the different spreads of CPD activities that you're taking part in. As a non-member, you can carry out some basic recording of facts. So you can put on your goals, you can put on your activities, you can do some searching. You have to become a member to do the really, really whizzy stuff, but it's good to get people on board at that stage. So we need your help to help us distribute these postcards to the people that come to your events, wherever you may be. But also to remind people after your meetings that they will have learned things today, and to go back to their office and record it on their PCs, to record it on their iPads or their Android tablets or their smartphones on the train on the way home. And that's where we need your help to spread this message for around the 24th of April.
But I think if you look at that form rather than a way of doing things, and the way we do things is going to vary by member, but you can imagine if your member group event is coming up on that feed, now potentially we can tag relevant development activities that you're offering with people who are looking for them much better. And this sort of connectivity and use of what we have already in our organisation that's going on well, I think is going to be a very exciting sort of, a new way of benefit that we give to members, but also a new way of interest we can get in what the member groups do. But yes, and thank you to Toney for such hard work making this happen, really, because it has done it.
A few questions?
Yes. Will this help with one problem that I identified recently, which was that several member groups are holding the same topic on different evenings? I noticed at Southampton Street recently that 3 different groups over the last month or so have all been talking about the Internet of Things. And it would have been very sensible if they'd coordinated this. And I'm wondering whether, in fact, if we put our events into this event, or into this system, it may actually help us to coordinate them.
I think it will help us know what's going on a bit more across that. But I think also it's actually fine if it might be very different takes, it may be very different audiences on the same topic. And it's quite exciting. The Internet of Things is a big deal, and we've got a lot going on in our organisation, which is saying I think I'm quite excited that there are multiple events on it. But we do have a problem of sharing what's going on, and the solution isn't to tell everyone everything, because it doesn't work. And so this idea of more tailored, more timely, more easy to access views of what's going on, I think is going to be critical to making that work better, certainly.
Centre.
Hi there, so I'm a tool man myself, I love tools, so I do it for a living, so it's great to see this new tool coming along. Automation from it, so there's a lot of personal hands-on parts to it, but for the groups and the branches, we have a lot of situations where we want to get members to come and attend, we want them to participate and give them some proof that they've participated. Is there any way in this tool where if they have attended an event, it automatically tracks some information from them, making it a lot easier for them to record and benefits for all of us?
There isn't intention in upcoming version for us to be able to link it into the event booking system, so that when people have said that they've attended and we can identify that they've attended, then that can automatically create records in there. So it's in our plans for the upcoming versions, and we're hoping to get feedback from yourselves and from the people, the membership in general, to identify what the priority of that will be. From our perspective, we consider that to be one of the
Proof of attending as well, because you don't just want people being able to just say that they've been, you need some way to prove that they've been as well, so that would be interesting to see how you're going to what that we were looking at in our own research management group is to do some CPD certificates. So again, go back to the old way of give them a PDF or giving somebody physically for attending something that is worthy of a CPD.
I think the idea of proving that you've done a bit of CPD is quite a complex topic, and I think that the simple answer is actually when we're going to an outcomes-based model, actually the outcome is the important thing, and you self-certify on that. And what we're not trying to do is get it to the point where we don't believe you, but that if you have a record set in this, where the timestamps are set effectively by when you put it in rather than what you typed in, you can get quite a rich record that is quite hard to fake, if you see what I mean. And that, it's not about the proof primarily, it's about you receiving the benefit from it. But that when you've got a record like that, showing it to someone is a great topic of conversation for an interview. It's a great topic of conversation with a manager. So I think it comes back to a slightly different way of looking at things. I mean, Tony and I have a bit of a disagreement about one aspect, in that I want an app that is a sort of native app that includes camera usage, because I want you to be able to put a QR code up on the projector for your event and have everyone whip out their phones and put it in. And I want that because it's cool. Okay? Toney, because he's a professional product manager, says, David, it sounds marvellous, I can understand what you're doing. There's no evidence for it. When I have some evidence that this is actually how people are going to use it or want to use it, and we've got some feedback on that, then we'll do it. And I go, okay. But so I'm the membership director, but they do what they want and tell me what I should do. And I think that's the best way around, actually.
Question there and then Carl.
Dave, just to follow up on that, if you're looking for absolute proof of professional competence achieved over a sustained period of time, get chartered.
Amen.
There you go.
Tony, Davey, that's great. Just got one suggestion for the communication strategy though. If you haven't already done it, maybe think about registering a specific Twitter ID of BCS CPD, because I think that could help to get the message across and focus the conversation very soon.
Thanks, Jude. I just want to put in a plug for the distance learning part of this. All the resources that member groups develop that they are willing to record can then become resources. There's now, as you heard this morning, the centralised YouTube account where you can lodge your materials if they're worthy of sharing with others. And the distance learning element of not attending physical meetings element is also tremendously useful. And if you look at the proportion of your members in your group who attend your meetings, I guarantee you it will be less than 10%. You've got to reach the others.
Well, amen again, I think. Can I just say, I'm still really excited about the idea of agile and thought travel. I must talk to you about that later.
Test room development bit is quite hard.
Dave McFarlane from the Belfast branch. I'm sure that I'm not the only person around here who belongs to at least 2 other professional bodies. Any tie-ups with the CPD of them?
Sort of. I think that, different professions do it quite differently. A lot of the ones that are more advanced in some ways are sort of wedded to different ways of doing it that we think of sort of need to, die a death, to be honest. But I think one of the things we're looking to do is promote this way of doing things and promote this tool to other professional bodies. We've had some interest from some people to white box it and offer it. If we want to start getting very excited about data, I'm very big on sort of, XML and exporting and so on, and potentially the idea of people creating tools around this. It would be great if we could push this to an open standard for how you record CPD across all professional bodies. But I think that to think that we can do that at this point, I think would be hubris. But certainly we're very keen to make this something that moves forward and is part of the general professional body of knowledge on how you do CPD. Oh, and that's why we're launching it at the CIPD conference, which is the Chartered Institute for Development. Is it Personal Development? Yes.
I think at that stage, I'd like to thank you both very much.